Hey, noble ones, it looks like Evil Dia, good friend of the channel, is losing it. He's losing it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. That looks like you might need professional help. People are driving you nuts, my friend. Oh, well, let's have a look. Maybe we can do a little diagnosis. See if we can help him out. Psychiatrist, proof you can't learn a language just by watching TV. One day ago, let's go.
What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. Every now and then I get a comment on this channel. It's usually someone responding to one of my videos where I debunk the baby method.
Yeah.
Now, for those who don't know, the baby method is the idea that you can learn a language just via watching TV. Like what a baby does, apparently. Apparently, babies just sit there and watch TV all day. But this is something that a lot of bullshitoglots peddle. They sell this idea that you can learn a language. All you got to do is just immerse in it, soak it up, get that shit up in your nostrils. And then I'll have people come to my comment section and they will say like, I know about X person who learned Japanese just via watching anime. And
oh my gosh, the anime one is story of my life, Evil Dia. I understand you're a little frustrated because of the online situation, but man, the anime thing, oh, I just learned, even when I was in freaking Sicily, we would go to a place, say like a, I don't know, heavy metal pub, which is where I usually would hang out. And then there would be someone who would be like, so we were talking what you guys like. And at that time, I was studying Japanese at university. So, of course, I'm saying I'm studying Japanese at university. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, I learned Japanese from anime. And then what do you do? What do you do? If you actually speak Japanese, what do you do? Switch, right? Nihongo dekimasu ka? They don't understand even that. They don't understand anything. It's like they don't speak it, but comparatively to their friends that know zero Japanese, if you know 7 words in Japanese, oh wow, you know what I mean? So yeah, Rasengan.
And you can imagine how much this annoys me, okay? Now, first up, there's a billion questions that I would have. One, were they a child when they started? When did they start? Do they have anyone in their family that speaks Japanese? Did they study Japanese prior as an adult? They tried years and years of study and it failed, so then they went and watched TV and voila, they suddenly made progress. Or was there other things that happened, or was it just simply them just saying, I watched anime and you didn't inquire? Now,
not to mention, you would make progress in your listening skills, but then again, it's not like you won't be able to speak unless you speak. It's literally just like muscles when you go to the gym. You want to learn how to speak, you've got to speak. You want to get better at understanding, you've got to listen. It's like expecting to become fluent and speak a language just by listening is the equivalent of expecting biceps when we're on because of leg day.
This is something that persists and continues to live on. But today I want to show that this is complete.
Yeah,
now,
let's go.
Can you learn a language just via watching TV? Well, you probably could, depending on the language and given enough time.
And the definition of learning.
Is it the smart thing to do? Absolutely no. And I'm pretty sure even the ALG, the most fundamentalist of ALG, would agree that this is a stupid idea. You should not try to learn a language via just incomprehensible input. In fact, I make this joke all the time on this channel that one day I'm going to learn North Korean by just watching North Korean propaganda. Okay, it's a joke. At the same time, if you're willing to dish up the money, I might try it out. Wink, wink. But after I discovered this blog post, I seriously would reconsider that, okay?
Let's go.
So we're going to look at a blog post from a language experimenter. Someone who decided to try this idea out. And you could see clearly that this was someone who believed in it. They weren't trying to debunk it. They believed you could do it. And they decided to do it for Chinese. They committed to watching 2,000 hours of Chinese, okay? Incomprehensible input to learn Chinese. And then at the 2,000 hour mark, they made a video showing where they were at that point.
Let's see.
And they called it the TV method. Now, this is the blog post in question. Now, this blog is from 2011. This is around the time
Man, that's like a Mesolithic period in internet time.
Maybe about a year after I started learning Esperanto, okay. Since then, I've learned Esperanto and I've learned, Chinese to an intermediate level. I've
He's pretty good at Chinese.
done freaking, Spanish. I've played around with a lot of languages, okay.
Same.
Now, the reason I point that out is because around 2012, this blog, I think, died. 2013, he launched another vlog which no longer exists. If I click on it, it's dead. It doesn't exist. So his experiment, some point after 2011, died. What happened after 2011?
He got arrested by the CCP. The CCP arrested him. He's a spy in training.
That was when he dropped his first video. The very first time he ever tried to speak and have a conversation in Chinese.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, before we get into that video, and I bet you're very curious, we're just going to read a little bit from the man himself.
Yeah.
Why all the drama?
Yeah, why?
As detailed in my previous post, after trying several different methods to learn Chinese spread out over a millennia, I settled on and stuck with the TV method. So, he's actually tried to study Chinese before. This is not even from absolute zero, but he's tried.
Yeah.
And he's deemed himself to have failed, okay. That's right. I stuck with something. Even without having any evidence of whether it would work or not, I enjoyed it and kept going.
Hey,
I
you
made a
enjoyed it.
commitment to watch 2,000 hours of Chinese. I never set any expectations for what I might achieve in 2,000 hours, so I was certainly not disappointed. One reason for taking up the challenge was just to show that it can be done. Yes, you can learn a language just by watching TV. In fact, I still am. I have a ways to go before I get...
Again, learn meaning that it's a possible and even up to a certain extent effective method or tool in combination with another 50 different things that you can do. Then sure, you can learn a language doing that together with other things. What you can't do is reach fluency with it if that's the only thing you do. So it's important we specify what it means to learn. Sometimes when we say, oh, I learned Mandarin, it kind of makes it sound like it's a completed loop, if you know what I mean.
to understanding 100%, and I'll let you know when I get there. In the meantime, I'm slowly accumulating more hours watching TV in Chinese. Okay, now let's have a look at some of the quotes he's got along the right-hand side. The biggest joke in language learning is grammar. To understand what a word means, you have to observe the circumstances in which it is used. Words have to grow gradually, experience by experience, and the mechanism of growing in each experience is wondering. And this last quote is actually from the founder of ALG, but even ALG would not propose incomprehensible input, okay? They're not that stupid. They say you have to have comprehensible input, at least 90% understandability in order for you to progress. So he's taken some quotes from these. He doesn't like grammar. He likes the idea of words growing in your mind, and he's taken it to the extreme of, I'm going to watch Chinese TV for 2,000 hours. Well, let's go check out a recording. So, this is the video in question. This is the first ever attempt to speak Chinese. After a 2,000-hour silence period, Keith finally opens his big mouth and tries speaking Chinese.
That's an awful decision to make, 2,000 hours or not. He should have repeated it. So, at least make good use of it. If you're listening, you're watching a show, and then you see these two Chinese characters. I'm just going to improvise something right here. You see these two Chinese characters, and these two people in this show, and one says something in English, for instance, and the Mandarin speaking guy says, 我听不懂. Then you'll have to slow it down, because that's a problem as well, because you might miss out some of the pronunciation. So that's also why it should be applied together with something else, or maybe having subtitles on screen so you can then look it up and like, oh, it's 我听不懂不懂我听不懂我听不懂我听不懂对不起我听不懂我听不懂对不起我听不懂对不起 sorry, I can't understand. But at least if you repeat it, so to say I don't understand, one of the ways, 我听不懂我听不懂我听不懂 like you have to do this. If you never open your mouth, you're a masochist.
Chinese in a conversation. Now, before we watch this, I do want to stress that this is not ALG, okay? This is the TV method, the baby method, the incomprehensible input method, okay? So let's not go down in the comment section and think we're shitting on ALG over here, because that's not what we're doing. We're going to be having a look at what you can achieve with 2,000 hours of Chinese TV. Oh, I forgot to mention, this guy also speaks Japanese, okay? So there should be a little bit of a help there.
Not in speaking, though, I'll be honest with you. It depends on his level of Japanese. But anyways, I want to hear him.
Okay, so we're going to start from this point. I will real-time translate for you what's said. We're not going to go through the whole video. You're not going to need it. I'm translating because there's no subtitles. And everything before this is just them struggling with Skype. We've all been there. We don't need to do a react to that.
看看
I see.
OK，你学习中文2年了。
Okay, so you've studied Chinese for 2 years.
更在我会看你
I can see you now.
Yeah. Also, he said 会 and it's 会. I think he has a problem with tones. Let me hear it again.
你现在能看到我了，对吧
You can see me now, right?
对
Yes.
？OK。 你昨天告诉我，你要在中午的时候回到家里，然后你下午还要再去上班吗？
Okay, so this sentence doesn't follow standard English grammar, so I'm
Yeah,
going to try and
contextually,
translate this. So he
it's
goes,
fine.
yesterday I told you. No, so yesterday you told me you were going home around noon, and then you would go to work in the afternoon.
请你再说。
Please say that again.
昨天
Yesterday,
你
you
在 Skype 上面
on Skype
和我
with me
说，
Spoke.
said
你今天中午
You
today
were-
in
午饭的时间
so today at noon, and then he changed his mind. Today while having
Yeah.
lunch,
回家里，
we'll return home,
然
对呀，
后和我
对呀，
and
聊
then
天。那你的
will
意
speak
思
with
是
me.
你今天要工作吗？
so your meaning is that today you have work.
对呀，对。
Yes.
你做什么工作啊？
What type of work do
What
you
type of
do?
work do you do? Yeah.
只是我不会说，
I
can't
can't
say it.
say.
我不知道怎么说。
I don't know how to say.
Okay, yeah.
哦，没关系。
No problem.
我很奇怪的是，你的中文的语音非常好。
Okay. He
It's
likes the
very strange
pronunciation.
that your Chinese pronunciation is really good. Now, this is coming from a native, but I do need to point out with Chinese speakers, they will compliment you on
True.
your Chinese, no matter how bad it sounds.
That's true.
Okay.
A bit like the Japanese, yeah. Nihongo jozu. It's a meme.
So this is not really an indication.
Of
Now,
course.
if you want to know how good his Chinese pronunciation is, it's not bad, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad. But I'll be honest, I've heard HSK1 speakers sound just
Yeah.
as good or better than him, okay?
Yeah.
So most of his words do sound really on point, but then there's some weird oddities.
Yeah.
非常标准，
Very
谢谢。
standard. Thank you.
听起来就像你听起来就像你在中国生活过一样。你在
So he's saying it sounds like you've studied, and then he changed his mind. It sounds like you've lived in
Been- yeah, been to-
Chinese.
been in
Sorry, you've
China.
lived in China or something like that.
中国生活过吗？
So you've lived in China.
不好意思，我不明白了。
Sorry, I don't understand now.
Kind of feel bad for him, to be honest, because I understand this is tough. I mean, it's Mandarin, and the guy, the Chinese speaker, is very smiley. That's very nice. But I just want to say one thing. We're not attacking this guy, but we are speaking with the audience in mind. So you shouldn't think that at this point, Evil Dia is being an asshole because this guy is just trying. No one is doing this, and we all appreciate that he tried. But we also want to make sure that you see that if you never open your mouth, you do not create experience. And if you do not create experience, you'll be anxious. And if you're anxious, everything's going to be harder. So, yeah, I mean, 2,000 hours into any language study, you should be able to do this like it's a piece of cake. Not that you should be fluent. Mandarin is a difficult language. But 2,000 hours. It's a bit like when people put 2,000, 10,000 hours into freaking apps and then they don't speak anything. You could have. You could have been able to be highly conversational if you had done more effective methods rather than focusing on something just to get it done. Just to be like, well, but I'm doing this. Nice, but is it the best thing you could do? That's the reality of what, just to clarify.
没关系。
No problem.
你在中国生活过吗？
Yeah.
Have you lived in China before?
He's missing the grammar. That's why he doesn't understand.
不在中国，
I'm not in China.
我没去过中国。
Okay,
I haven't gone to China before.
that's fine.
我明白了，你是说你没去过中国？
Yeah.
So he's saying, I understand. What you wanted to say is, I haven't been to China before. He was just correcting him.
Yeah.
对呀，
Yes.
我没去过中国。
Yes, I haven't
Wow.
gone to China before.
如果
If,
这样的话，你的中文真的是非常好了。
Okay, so you can see he's slowing down. He's adding lots of breaks, but he's saying if that's the case, then your spoken Chinese is really good.
谢谢你。
Thank you.
你之前生活在美国，
And he's saying, you lived in lived in America before.
现
你
在我
之前生活
是
在
我是
Sorry.
日本，我住在日本。
So he's saying, now I'm in Erebon. I don't know where that is. Maybe it's a place.
はい。
So, for instance, even that, and again, I want to praise the Chinese guy because he's been very comforting, very smiley. He's been like commending him to not make him feel bad. So, the Chinese guy is wonderful. Like, I wish I could practice with him, to be honest. That'd be nice. So, the thing is, for instance, even this nations and nationalities, languages, verbs, that's why structuring them is good, right? Because otherwise, you could watch a lot of hours but never really understand that, because Meiguo for America also means beautiful country, so you might think that they are complimenting a country, instead they're speaking about America. So having a list is something that shows you with all the flags visually, oh, that's how you say the countries, and then you practice it, speaking it, and you incorporate the word and actually learn the vocabulary rather than I just heard sounds and maybe. That's what makes a difference. You would never not understand the name of a country in a context of a simple conversation.
And then for some reason it says hi, which is, I believe, Japanese.
Yeah, he did. Well, that's fine. It can happen. He never practiced, so
And then some awkward silence.
that's lack
你
of
在家里吗？
Are you at home?
yeah.
对，我
Yes.
在家里，
Yes, I'm at home.
我在多伦多，
So he's in Duolunduo. Duolunduo. Where is that?
Probably some transliteration of a
that
Western
Toronto?
sound. Yeah,
I think it's Toronto.
something like that.
Not too sure.
It's like New York for New York. If you don't know that that's how it's transliterated, it might be difficult to understand.
加拿大
啊
的，
这样呢？
一个城市，
You get
Okay, so
Cheongshi,
it's a
that's
city in Canada.
Yeah,
多伦多，
I'm now really
Toronto.
curious. Oh, yes, I got it right.
very good. That was a good guess.
哦，Toronto，
I'm not sure what he was trying to do with Toronto then. I think he just kind of
Maybe you want to say it's a nice
Japified
town.
the word
or-
Toronto. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
中国人在
He said Chinese people at.
are in yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going
Alright.
to stop here. I'll put a
Yes,
link to this
that's
video
fine.
down in the description for those who do want to go through it. It's basically, I get the feeling it's just going to be this all the way through because I can already judge his level. Basically, his level is, I would say, HSK1 with good pronunciation. And the interesting thing here is that he has not acquired the grammar of the language.
Yeah.
His grammar is actually very English. So he hasn't internalized the Chinese grammar. I can see that. There's a few little points where he seems to have acquired very small segments like
Yeah.
to guo, which is have gone to before.
Yes.
Like he's acquired that, or 怎么说, how
Yeah, instead of saying like tu le, which usually very like beginners just use le as a past tense rather than understanding it's a form of completion. So yeah, tu guo to express the actual experience. Sure. Maybe the reason why he got that was from Japanese, because Japanese is a similar way to do like ita koto ga arimasu or tabeta koto ga arimasu to express the idea of having had an experience.
to say, but everything else, even 怎么说, it kind of follows English, but like everything else is just, it's English, just with Chinese
Like a skin,
pretty
yeah.
much.
He's right.
So,
Again, we are not shaming the guy, and if the guy watches this, I don't know his name, no one is shaming you. We appreciate that you put in all the effort, and in fact, we're just making sure that the interest of our students is redirected towards more productive usages of time. That's all we're doing here. You still have the potential to reach fluency and become conversational. You just have to redirect it.
I think this pretty much definitively proves
Yeah.
that trying to watch TV for 2,000 hours to learn a language which is far removed from your own, even when you speak another language that's similar, say, well, it's not similar, but Japanese, it's had an influence from Chinese, is probably the worst way to learn a language.
Yeah.
Does
and,
that mean you can't do it?
and the apps.
Well, maybe if he did this for another 10 years, he'd be at my level. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I like...
But it's very
Maybe
inefficient.
he is at my... Maybe he's way beyond me because there is no like evidence that he continued or where the guy's at. But I do thank him for doing this experiment.
Yes,
This was
sure.
fucking fascinating.
Yeah.
And if you're someone who loves experiments like
I
me,
agree.
it is good to see this. Like, the fact that he believed that this would work makes it even so much better. because then you know that he went into this not to kind of like debunk it. Like he didn't have, that wasn't his purpose, but he did follow through and do what he said he would do. And I do appreciate him for that. However, this, I think, definitively proves you should not
Absolutely.
try to learn Chinese like this. You would reach this level of Chinese in probably 20 hours of
He's
like dedicated study.
He's absolutely right. Thank you, Evil Dia. Very good breakdown. And maybe we'll make a few videos on how to use, because listening to TV is not a bad tool. No one is saying don't do it. We're just saying don't just only do that, particularly when it's random and it's not even organized so that you watch something that it has a level that makes sense for you, so you internalize some vocabulary. Thank you for watching and joining Metatron's Academy.